Let's go to our national correspondent, Logan Raddick, at the Supreme Court. And Logan, I know that you were out there also last night. They are preparing for another day, and I know a lot of security out there, right?
Mainly media right now, Rita. There's a small amount of protesters that are outside the Supreme Court. Capitol Police are out in full force right where I am standing right now. There's also some Capitol Police in front of the Supreme Court, but we've obviously heard a lot of passionate reaction from political leaders on both sides of the aisle. It really all started yesterday when President Biden reacted to the Supreme Court's ruling overruling Roe v. Wade.
This fall, we must elect more senators and representatives who will codify women's right to choose into federal law once again. Elect more state leaders to protect this right at the local level. We need to restore the protections of Roe as law of the land.
And then there were Democrats like Maxine Waters who are urging people to get out in the streets.
See this turnout here? You ain't seen nothing yet. Women are going to control their bodies no matter how they try and stop us. The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them. We will be out by the thousands. We will be out by the millions. We're going to make sure we fight for the right to control our own bodies.
Now, Waters' Governor Gavin Newsom is reiterating that he's going to maintain protection for abortion in his state. Keep in mind, this ruling turns it over to the states. And obviously, Rita, as you mentioned, states are coming down with different laws of their own, or at least proposals for these new laws. Governor Gavin Newsom tweeting, quote, "Abortion is legal in California. It will remain that way. I just signed a bill that makes our state a safe haven for women across the country. We will not cooperate with any states that attempt to prosecute women or doctors for receiving or providing reproductive care." Now, a completely different tune in the state of Texas. Here's Attorney General Ken Paxton. He tweeted, quote, "The Supreme Court just overruled Roe v. Casey, ending one of the most morally and legally corrupt eras in U.S. history. Praise the Lord, abortion is now illegal in Texas. And today I'm closing my office and making it an annual holiday as a memorial to the 70 million lives lost because of abortion." So, Rita, as you mentioned, there were protests across the country last night. This is pretty calm right now. You don't really hear loud protests behind me, but there are demonstrators out here. There were about 30 people outside of Justice Clarence Thomas's house last night. I was out there covering that protest. So we'll see what comes this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Logan, thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. And now let's go to Congresswoman Bice, if we could, because protests are erupting all over the place. And we want to get her reaction, Republican of Oklahoma. Congresswoman, let me get your thoughts first off to what we just saw. Logan was talking about now it's calm, obviously a very different picture than it was last night.
Well, I think that, first of all, this decision, Roe and Casey, the reversal of that, are an important day for the pro-life movement. And states like Oklahoma are pro-life states. This decision gives that power back to the states and back to the people. And I think that that's a message that's being lost here. You know, I just saw your video with Maxine Waters, and certainly people, have the right to protest, and that's as long as it's in a peaceful manner, but it doesn't ban abortion. I think that's being missed here. This is a states' rights issue now, and it puts that back to the people so they can elect elected officials like we have in Oklahoma that protect life.
You know, you bring up a powerful point, because it is going back now to the states and really putting it in individuals' hands. Do you think that that message is getting through? Because clearly the left is making it sound like it's the exact opposite, when in reality it is now going back to individual states and for people to be able to elect officials that they feel represent their views. And yet the left is making it sound like it's an all or nothing.
That's exactly right, Rita. And I would say that, if you look at the protests last night in New York City, New York is a pro-choice state. They go to the extreme in many cases. And so for them, people to be vandalizing, areas and protesting, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. That's a states' rights issue. The state of New York chose to make abortion legal, and, that's the people's decision. But for them to sort of the left to insinuate that this is something that is a complete and total ban is just not accurate at all.
What do you make of some who have come out and said, okay, well now, gay rights are on the table, interracial marriage? I mean, you should hear some of the conversations that they've basically said that almost every right is now going to be basically on notice. What do you say to those folks?
That's not what I'm hearing from constituents in Oklahoma right now. Those are not issues that are being talked about. What's being talked about, Rita, right now in Oklahoma is inflation. I hear it from my constituents every single day that I am in the district, meeting with individuals, meeting with businesses. These topics are certainly something that you hear from the media, but it's not what's happening back home. And it's not what people are talking about every day when they go to work in the morning and pick their kids up from school in the evening.
And to that end, really quick, I want to ask you, because I know that you're really big in oil and gas, obviously very important there in Oklahoma. And before I let you go, one thing I thought was astounding this week is that President Biden met with the wind farm executives, but didn't meet with the oil industry executives. Do you see anything turning around in this situation?
Rita, it has to. I mean, it is amazing to me. Not only did he not meet with oil and gas executives, he wrote letters to the CEOs of top oil and gas companies, accusing them of price gouging and telling them that he's going to use every available means within his executive power to right this ship. Righting the ship means allowing oil and gas companies to drill. From day one, this administration had launched a full-on assault on the oil and gas industry. And we're seeing the effects of that today. $5 a gallon gas here in Oklahoma, $7 in California. And it's really, I think, just astonishing to me that he would rather look at the renewable industry than look at allowing for American energy production right here in Oklahoma to allow for prices to decrease. And I would remind your viewers that this discussion around wind farms and solar, these products are used or manufactured with raw materials that are mined in China. We can't continue to rely on our adversaries like China to provide energy for this country. We've got to become energy independent once again.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.